Hey beauty, welcome to Midlife Butterfly. This is a little briefing before actually going into the actual episode that was recorded a couple of days ago or so. And I want to share this with you because I think it's important. I am taking a podcast program actually with my mentor Kathy Heller. And one of the things that we practice in there is to be a C student. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I used to be an A student most of my life. And that created so much procrastination and frustration. And that's actually why I'm sharing this. Because for my podcast, I decided to be, not to be a C student, but at least to be a B student. I said, okay, still it's gonna be a bit challenging, but the important thing is to bring the work and do the things that I want to do with joy and pleasure. And recording this episode the other day, it was good, it was fun. But when I tried to edit it, because I realized that I made a mistake in a sentence that I said that it was really key for what I was saying, then I edit a bit the episodes because of the sound and clearing some of the noise and all that I couldn't believe that it took me like an hour to do that of a 10-minute episode. And of course, I ended up frustrated and drained. And I want to share this with you because as much as I'm trying to be raw here, and I said I'm not gonna edit these episodes, at least not, cut off stuff. I really want to speak my truth in here. I was thinking to record the episode again. And I probably would have done it. And I'm going to tell you what at the end I chose not to. And it's basically because today is my nephew and grandson's birthday. We're celebrated at home because I'm leaving tomorrow, traveling away after being 2 months at my mom's place. And I want to prioritize my time with family. And even when I have this voice in my head telling me this is a grade of a D student, not even a C student, I have this thought ruminating in my back, to tell you the truth. And I want to share this with you because I'm going to share the episode as the way it finished after I did the little edits in there, and it didn't end up nicely as I wanted to have the sound and the whole thing. On the other hand, I was thinking, give yourself some grace, Kenna, for Christ's sake. Like, this is my seventh? Yeah, it's my seventh episode, meaning it's my fifth solo episode. And now that I'm telling you this, why do we put so much pressure in ourselves? If the message that you are receiving from me, it's landing in you, even if the sound is not perfect, even when I repeat a lot the words actually and really, things that I have, that I want actually to improve eventually, and I'm just taking that time to really land it and to allow myself to be a D student in this time, according to my perspective, actually, because because this episode is about perspective. And now that I'm just telling you this, after I finish this recording and put everything together for the episode to roll in, tonight after the party and the celebration, I'm going to take the time to reflect on according to whom I'm putting that much pressure on myself, according to whom I'm supposed to be an A student all the time, according to whom, to what collective, to what expectation. Oh my God, it's just too much going on. And the invitation is really for you to start putting attention to those voices that are behind, that sometimes we are not even able to understand what those voices, what the inner critic is saying, but we can really feel it in our chest or in another part of our body. In my case, it's really like the chest, like feel a bit of a contraction. And that's the way I'm going to leave it. So thank you for listening to the first part of this episode. And then we're gonna move forward to the episode itself, where we are talking about shifting your perspective to heal yourself. Sending you much, much love in this February birthday celebration, as my birthday is coming on the 19th. February, yay! Have a wonderful week. Welcome to Midlife Butterfly, where transformation gets real through every twist and turn of your journey. When you are empowered and fully love yourself, you'll embrace the messy, magical process of transformation with open arms. I am Ken as you, and this is your space to feel seen, heard, and inspired by real talk. So you don't just create a life you love, you live it every single day with unapologetic joy and freedom. Hey beautiful, welcome back to Midlife Butterfly. Today we're diving into a topic that's not only fascinating but truly transformative. How shifting your perception can be the key to healing yourself and living a more empowered, joyful life. Let's break it down first. What is perception and how does it differ from perspective? Perception is how we interpret sensory information, meaning what we see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. It's like the raw data our senses gather, okay? Perspective, on the other hand, is the mental filter we use to make sense of that sensory data. It's shaped by your experiences, beliefs, culture, upbringing, and even your traumas. Think of it this way. Perception is the initial interpretation, and perspective is the broader understanding derived from that perception. How you perceive and interpret the world defines your identity. From the moment we were born, we are influenced by education, religion, culture, any collective societal norms. To that, if we add your wounds, fears, and beliefs, then you have a very complex and unique lens through which you view life. Are you following here? I love this Spanish saying, cada cabeza es un mundo, which means each head is a world. And isn't it true? Two people can experience the exact same event and interpret it completely differently. So here's an example. Imagine two brothers growing up with an alcoholic father. One might follow the same patterns and become an alcoholic, while the other one might choose to become a psychologist to help others break free from addiction. Same experience, different perceptions and perspectives. And I want to share the power of one question, a question that I ask myself and my clients when facing a blockage, which is, according to whom? Why is this question so transformative? Because many of the perceptions that shape your identity come from other people, parents, teachers, friends, even society, and often these perceptions are unconscious programs that no longer serve you. Am I right? I had a client at one point that she told me, well, she believed that she was slow. And in our session, I asked her, according to whom? And she realized it was her grandmother who had planted that belief. Because whenever she wasn't fast enough, according to her grandma, with a task, her grandmother would tell her that she was slow. So until I reflected back this to her, and I asked her, how can you compare the experience of an adult to that little girl learning something for the first time? And it was boom, it was a breakthrough for her. She understood that that belief wasn't true. It was just the perception passed down to her. What about the perception of, I'm too old to start something new. My best years are behind me. I mean, really? At this point in life, and I hope you agree with me, but I'm in my midlife and I'm living my best years ever. It is actually the most powerful, wise, and self-aware chapter of my life. And I'm ready to explore much more. So, shifting my perception of how to actually embrace my age, it has really given me that opportunity to feel more confident, to have that interest in keep learning, and actually enjoying more the present moment, instead of creating resistance for something that is really inevitable. Does this resonate with you? Oh my goodness. What about this perception about I failed because my marriage ended? I've been there twice. Like the end of my marriage was a turning point that really allowed me to rediscover who I truly am. So seeing this kind of failure, which another perception that I have actually from failure is more about either I win or I learn, and most of the time is the latter. So just by perceiving failure like that shift helps me to see life in an easier and more empowering way. When I choose to embrace my divorce and see it from the eyes of liberation or empowerment, it's really created more space for new things to happen in my life. And what can I say? My life keeps getting better and better. That's the truth. That's my truth. I don't know if you're a parent, but what about if you're thinking that now that my children are independent, I don't know who I am or what my role is? If you want to choose to see this with another perspective and shift it to, this is an opportunity to reconnect with my passions and explore parts of myself I set aside. When you shift this one, it can impact your life immensely because it encourages you as a woman or a father to really embrace that freedom and self-discovery after being a caregiver for such a long time at home. And here is the empowering truth. What if healing those wounds, dissolving those patterns, and rewriting those beliefs is as simple as shifting your perception? And you know what? It is. I've been applying this tool for many years, and it has created so much expansion and freedom and joy and liberation, really. Because just by changing your perception a few degrees, either to the right or to the left, of what you are facing now, it can take you to a complete different point of view that can serve you better if you are feeling stuck in something. One tool I love that helps me improve my relationships, it involves imagining two intertwined circles. And one circle, it's my perspective, and the other one is someone else's perspective. So where they overlap is the space of understanding and compassion. Do you get me? Because really accepting that each person has their own perspective is so freaking liberating. It frees you from the need to control or convince others. In my previous marriage, where we had cultural and educational differences, we often close conversations with, "That's your perception and this is mine." And guess what? Both were valid. There was no need to convince each other. There was no discussion or fight. It was just acceptance. And when you tend to see the bigger picture, your mind and senses open to more possibilities. You stop needing to be right all the time because you understand that everyone, including yourself, has their own truth shaped by their unique life experiences. And here's the kicker. There's no absolute truth. There is only your truth seen through a lens that can lead to healing, freedom, and expansion. So my love, it's really up to you to change your perception and heal yourself. Remember that empowerment begins with awareness, and awareness gives you the power to shift your perception, rewrite your story, and embody the beautiful, expansive, and joyful life you were always meant to live. I hope this episode brings you something that you can put into practice to improve your life and heal yourself for good. This is an empowerment tool that I hope you get to use. Until next time, stay aligned, stay joyful, and keep spreading your wings, beautiful butterfly. Much love always. Thank you for tuning into Midlife Butterfly. If this episode lit a spark in you, hit that subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen, so you'll never miss the magic. If you're feeling generous, drop a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps this empowering content reach more souls ready to transform their lives. And don't forget to take a photo of you while listening and share it on your socials. You can tag me at KenAsYou so I can celebrate you and your expansion. Until next time, keep spreading those wings and living in joy, growth, and pleasure.